Hi everybody, H2 Ocean here. We finished our refugium, so we did make a hanger piece here that we could put our socks in case we ever wanted to run them. We can go ahead and do that. Free hanging. And we'll put it back there where it belongs. We did do our solid first piece here all the way down. We put a bubble trap in here. As you can see, we have the window cut open for the end. Our refugium area in here. We've got our overflow with our little bubble breaker filter pad if we want, and we got another shelf down here we can put whatever we want in. And then we got our return pump, which will fit that pump, another pump, and if I hang other pieces on, the pumps will be up here, so we got plenty of room for that. We made this out of Lexan. I wanted to make a little comment on that. If you buy Lexan, buy nice thick Lexan. There's two nice things about it. You can do whatever you want with it. So we made our little shelf here for our pipes to come in. We can run it with or without socks. This is a piece that I just heated and bent it. So if you take your time, you heat it up, you can bend it into pretty much any shape you want. So we're eventually going to need float hangers, so we'll slice this up and we'll use that for our probe hangers or heater hangers or anything else that we need. But I do like Lexan. It's not as cheap as glass, but right now I don't have to worry about slicing my hand wide open reaching into the thing. And I'm kind of clumsy, so when I go to put live rock in here, if I happen to drop a big chunk of live rock, I don't have to worry about smashing one of these and then having a refugium full of glass that I need to pick out. Okay, so that's completed. We got the stand at the house. We're going to take this tank and that tank, get our plumbing done, and fire it up, and we'll see if we got all our flow right. So here we are with our startup, or the start of our setup, however you want to look at it. We got our tank set, we got our light in. That was an eBay happy, 105 bucks. I got this one mainly because it'll tilt, so you can lift it up out of the way. Won't do that because it's way too bright. It's got 3 sets of bulbs in it. It's got the ones that are running now. It's got the blue ones, which are something about plant growth, not really sure. We'll figure that out. And then it's got the little blue LEDs for the moonlight so the little fishes can fall in love. So we're currently filling that up. Another eBay special was our overflow box on the back. It's not CPR, but it's the same dimensions. I looked up the CPR overflow. It's like 1,700 gallons per hour. So the one thing we did, it didn't come with the fittings for the tubes. We went to Home Depot and got a set of washing machine discharge tubes, which are smaller than the 1 inch that normally would come off of that. They're about 3/4 of an inch. So we got those two coming in. Again, our refugium, we got our little sock thing, which we'll end up taking the socks off. We're going to run those right now, get anything out of the tank that's running. Again, our Lexan dividers all the way over. Our pump, we've plumbed our pump back up in. We put 45s to get us there, 45s to move us over, and then up to the top is the only 90. I hate 90 degrees. We're pushing a lot of head pressure, and I don't want a bunch of 90-degree bends that we got to go. That's going to reduce our flow. So we have a water system coming. What is it? RODI, whatever they call it. That was another eBay break. By the way, we paid 32 bucks plus shipping. It was pretty much 35 bucks for the overflow tank. The tubes were 8 bucks a piece, so that's 16 bucks. We already went through everything that we spent down here. The Lexan was $20 for the sheet, and I still got a bunch of it left over. So I'm going to say it's probably about $15, $20 worth of Lexan. The PVC, I'm not even going to count. It's like $3. It's so cheap. So we got all that hooked in. We're trying to fill the tank up. The RODI we bought was $95 with free shipping. It's a 5-stage. Everybody said, get marine, get marine, get marine, get marine. I looked at the specs on it, and I couldn't find, actually the specs on it were better than the ones that were being advertised through the aquarium magazines for marine use. So what the deal is, I don't know, but everybody says RODI water, and that's what we're trying to shoot for. We got this little $40 piece of poo. It's a tap water filter. It doesn't do RO, it only does DI. We've used that for this tank over here for our refill water, mainly because our phosphates are so high. And it does do a good job of taking the phosphates out. As a matter of fact, it comes with 2 bottles of stuff that's supposed to replace the minerals that it takes out. But it turns purple as it changes. The camera's not going to show it, but we're about half purple now, and we're about 1/3 full. So we're not going to make full on this thing. So unfortunately, I think we're going to have to wait for our RODI system, because we have to fill that as well. So we're looking at a lot more water than that poor little thing's going to handle. And that's one of the reasons I hate it. It's like 35 bucks for the piece. When the filter's dead, you might as well just buy another one, because it's 28 bucks for the filter to replace it. Other than that, it's nothing more than the top and the bottom. So that's why we went ahead and spent the 100 bucks on the RODI system, because it'll do both of them, and hopefully we'll get a lot more water out of it. The only thing I hate about them, everything that goes in here, I get back out in a RODI. For every gallon that we make, we might lose 3 or 4 gallons of water that's waste. But for right now, water's cheap because we haven't run out yet. Thank the Lord. I'm not in Arizona, I'm on the East Coast, so water here is not a big problem. So we're going to let this fill, probably take a day or two, and then we're going to do the mighty turn on and see if we have water all over the place. One of the other things on the overflow box, we went ahead and hooked a pipe to our tap, and we've got an old power head here that we're going to run. We put the tube in the top of the power head. We'll use this for just a little bit of circulation. But the other advantage to that, it will always keep a draw on that. So if I get air bubbles coming up into the overflow chamber that want to break that siphon, that power head, as long as it's running, or if the power goes out, when it starts back up, that power head's going to start our siphon again. We're waiting on another box, from one from Marine Depot, the other from my favorite place, that fish place, because it's right up there in Lancaster. It's about an hour maybe away from me. I like buying things from them because they'll ship online. I can usually get free shipping, but if I don't like it or something's wrong with it, I can drive it to the store and exchange it. So I don't have to pay the freight back and forth to figure things out. But we've got a few things coming from there. We got a heater coming. Found a deal on a set of wave maker, whatever the little power heads that go on the sides that blow back and forth. So we got a set of those coming. We got a master saltwater liquid test kit coming. I've already got one that I used on the other tank, but we got another one for this one just because it's a cost factor, and we want to add everything in that you're going to have to spend. Don't laugh at my piping too much. I don't know where I'm going to end up coming at the top once I figure that out. Most likely I'm going to make the little diffuser like I did on this one. As you can see, it's it's just a 1-inch T on the 3/4 pipe. So the fish never liked it when it blew straight into the tank, because if one of those angel fish went in front of it, all of a sudden he was pinned up against the glass here. So I put that in to blow off to the sides. I think we're probably going to do the same thing here. That'll keep us right under the water level, and if we get it set with the water level of the overflow, I don't have to drill a little hole in the pipe, because it'll still blow out into the tank, but it won't siphon back down into the tank. So I think that's where we're going with that. But we got a long way to go. We still got to fill the thing all the way up. We got to fill the refugium all the way up. We got to get the pump fired up and get everything running. Okay? So we'll see you, and it's probably going to be 2 or 3 days before we get all this going, and then I make another video. But I'll see you then, and we'll see how it's going.